Alright, back in Monster Hunter World. So today we're going to be going after Gold Rathian, who is, well, this is actually going to be my second kill, third run. First run I didn't get it. I killed her with no feints, but I didn't get the tail sever, so I said, alright, I'll do it again. Second time she locked me in a corner and killed me, so that was fun. This time, however, it's clean kill. We get all the part breaks, we get all the tail severs and whatnot. But so we do her event quest, which you see me struggling to get. But there's something interesting that happens here that I'll show you once we end up getting there. So it's in the Elder's Recess, which, you know, not a huge surprise. Regular Rathian doesn't show up here, so I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. Either way, I'm going to be making our way over to her to try and beat her to death with our weapons. So you see I've got a brand new insect glaive. That's going to be the Despot's Twin Bolt, which you actually get. Well, first I had to kill, what's his name, Zinogre a couple times, because as you can see it's obviously a Zinogre-style weapon. And then, in order to upgrade it to its final form, you have to... What's the word? You have to get these Spirit Vein Solid Bones, which only come from one place. There's a few tempered monsters that you have to fight in the Guiding Lands, so I end up having to fight two Master Rank Tempered Rathalos. Excuse me, not Rathian. We're going to fight Rathian right now. Or her gold variant, anyway. But, yeah, that was not really all that fun. But it's done. We've got our materials. And right now, we're going to be heading up to Gold Rathian's little hideout up here. So, in this event quest, at least, she stays in one spot the entire run. I'm not, like, she literally stays in area, I think it's area 15, for the entire time, and she literally will not leave it, even when you try and lure her. Which is annoying, because that means I'm going to have to bolt down here every now and then to try and repair my insect glaive. The only positive I can think of is that it gives you some practice for when you do her, what is it called? Her arena quest, her special arena MR Gold Rathian thing. That's literally the only reason I can think of how this is helpful at all. But, you know, whatever, man. So a couple of things of note. So her breakable / several parts are the exact same as Rathian. Head, both wings, back, and tail can be severed. Easy peasy. You know it, you know it. She's got a couple of brand new moves, namely her fireballs place down a lot more hellfire when she activates her hellfire mode, which she has now, by the way. She has like it's a lot similar to Lunastra's hellfire. If you've dealt with that before, basically the same concept, although it isn't blue for whatever reason, although her chest glows blue. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Get a couple of new moves, namely she's got like a tail flippy thing. Yeah, that right there. She also has regular Rathian's tail flip, but that's a new one. She got Rathian's triple fireball. For some reason, I remember seeing her only do a double fireball on occasion. I don't know if that's actually true, or it's just me missing the last fireball on the triple. She also got a super fireball, which she'll do eventually. She flies up in the air and then sends it crashing down. It's a pretty big explosion. The AoE on those things is also really deceptive, because like you run away from it, it's kind of like it feels like it's kind of like a coin flip as to whether you get hit or not. Another thing, very easy to mount, or maybe just the Despot's Twin Bolt, because I found with using that weapon I tend to get a lot more mounts. But maybe it's just a thing with her where she's a lot easier to mount. I don't know. It's just me. Also, I recommend bringing some Disperse Jewels to her head, and her tail is insanely difficult to sever. Like, you'll see, it takes me quite a while to... I wail on it for a lot of... I spend a lot of time wailing on it, and it still takes me forever to sever. And her head's quite difficult to break as well. That's just another thing to be aware of. So, 2 things of note. Just be aware. Tail is difficult to sever, head is difficult to break. But like, what's his name, Rajang, they actually have to deal damage to her head in order to get her out of her, I think it's her Hellfire mode. Other than that, she's fairly similar to regular Rathian, just a lot more aggressive. For whatever reason, she refuses to not be in one area, which makes her painful to fight. Yeah, there. The camera's freaking out there. I do see a couple of frame drop issues with her. I'm still not sure what I want to do about those because there's not much I can really do. I might consider dropping the frame rate like from 60 to 30. See if that helps at all. I'll try it for like the next run and we'll see what happens, but that's probably the most I can really do. Yeah, also, for those doing the event quest, those little things that rain down there, very annoying. They can really mess you up, and they actually mess me up quite a lot. I don't know when it's going to show up, but eventually you'll see what happens with them. I think at this point I'm probably going to try and run away. Yeah, you'll see me just running away here. Because I need to repair my insect glaive. And she's just not going to let me do it back in there, so I'm like, alright, let me head out to this area. And I'll just repair my insect glaive up. There we go. Then while she runs back in there, we'll go ahead and heal right up. Also, you notice a little bar, arrows on my health bar? Not sure what those are. I think they might be for... I think there's a skill where... I can't remember what it's called, where if your health drops below 35%, you get like a attack buff. But I don't actually think I have that skill on. I don't at least remember having it, putting it on, so... your guess is as good as mine. Oh, there's the super fireball. Which is really annoying to try and dodge, because its range is very deceptive and also massive. Yeah, her tail's at least pretty easy to heal off of, so there's that. Yeah, you can see her blue fireballs are the ones that leave the hellfire behind. You can see those sort of burning on the ground there. And her chest is also glowing like bright blue and such, so that's how you tell how it's in hellfire mode. The other main problem is that her area doesn't have any nice little piles of rocks or whatever to use as slinger armor, so it's a lot harder to slam her into the wall. She does drop slinger bombs on occasion, but it takes a while for her to start dropping it consistently, so... Dropping sort of stuck for a while people drop them. And while they are pretty useful, again, they're not consistent enough to really get consistent with wall bangs, wall smashes. Let's call counters. Watching too much counters. Like, yeah, that's relatively good. She can sort of, she can combo you, especially if you use the right moves and the right combinations. And even worse, her poison damage is actually noxious poison. You know, if you know, what's his face, Viper Toei Kadachi, it's the same idea. Where like, yeah, that's where we get our great. Here I end up trying to slam her into the wall, which works, and she's knocked down. Alright, awesome. Let's go and wail on that tail. So we're just going to try and continually attack the tail because it needs to come off, because, again, I'm running a bit low on... And again, I usually only carry herbal medicines with me when I'm doing monsters that can deal poison damage. Yeah. So, I usually try and nullify the poison as much as possible. However, I didn't end up bringing poison jewels with me in this case because I needed to bring other stuff, mainly fire jewels, because her fire damage is much more consistently put onto you as opposed to her poison damage, so if you have to choose between one or two, choose the fire and just bring herbal medicine. Because, again, the fire is probably more of a danger than poison, so to get her other wing broken, so that's her left wing broken, and then we'll just go on her tail. Yeah, the triple fireball, it's really weird. It seems kind of inconsistent where it'll blow up. Sometimes it blows up right from her, and sometimes it travels halfway across the entire zone. I think this is where we get her tail off. I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure, obviously, but I'm fairly certain this is where we get her tail off. In addition, it's also good to be on her tail when mounting her, because it's a lot harder for her to shake you off when you're on her tail. She doesn't really have any good moves. Demounting moves, I guess I'll call them. I think I'm like 90% sure this is where it comes off. Maybe. I guess not. I knew it falls off somewhere in the middle here, so I'm just sort of going off of memory, figuring out right. Although, yeah, I do have to run away here because one bit low on health. Two, insect plays in the tannish yellow again, so we gotta chill out down here for a hot minute and then heal while I go. Because you'll see her shoot her fireballs. Alright. Eventually she'll. The thing is that when you run back out this tunnel, she'll generally come, once you get close enough, she'll sort of come charging right down it again, which can be an issue. Because it can be a bit of a little tight fit in there, so she can sometimes get you because you don't have much space to work with. Dealing damage to her. Damage to that tail bit. And also our... Yeah. Sometimes those knockbacks from the falling, I don't know, crystals can actually prove to be a bit of a benefit because they'll knock you away from an attack that would otherwise hit you. But they are just really, really annoying, and unfortunately, because she's in this area, that's one point where they're not too helpful, because they just knock me straight from the fire there. And the other thing, because they're like right in like one area of the map, and also because, you know, they're flinching her there, focusing the tail, and I think this is where I actually pretty close to running out of poison. Throw medicines to kill the poison. So, yeah, we're really looking to get that tail off here soon because I'm running out of ways to deal with the poison that it produces. And don't try and tank. Tanking noxious poisons is like one of the worst ideas anyone's has ever had. I have tried it a couple times, and it's about as fun as you might think it is. Fortunately, we get some slinger bombs here, so he started to drop those, which they do a lot of damage, and so I'm like, alright, yeah, that doesn't work out. I was trying to knock her into the wall there, and it works out about as well as you think it would. Although, note, she does actually have to hit you with the tail tip, otherwise it doesn't, it just does damage to you instead of, you know, just barely doesn't get close to the wall, and then she enrages pretty much immediately afterwards, so it's always fun. And again, we just gotta focus that tail, because once it's off, she's a lot less of a threat. Now we can head on to that fireball. It's a lot worse if you just get caught like in the very edge, because then you only take just some regular old fire damage, and that's when it comes off. So her tail is gone, so we have 2 parts left to break. Her back and her head. I know when her head breaks because it's kind of mildly anticlimactic, let's say. But I believe we get her back broken fairly soon after this. Because I think I remember it being that way. The good thing to know about her super fireball is that she'll usually crouch. She sort of has like a moment after she uses it where she comes back down to the ground and she just has to sit there for a minute. Oh yeah, there she does have double fireball, because that was just 2 fireballs. Well, there you go. She's got all 3. She's got a single fireball on the ground, a triple fireball on the ground, and what's the name? A double fireball on the ground. I cannot word today, as usual. So her back's broken, so that means there's just her head left. And her head's probably, outside of her tail, it's the hardest actual part to break, so I'm like, alright. Really, if I want to damage your head, I have to have full sharpness, so we just let her right on the ground there for a minute. I probably should have gone for damage, but yeah, whatever. So then I started using the things on her head. Mostly because the good thing about those Slinger Bombs is you can use them to cancel some of her attacks. So if you're in a really pinch and you have some Slinger Bombs on you, absolutely make sure you use them to try and get her out of attacks you don't want to try and dodge, and just can't dodge at the moment. So that's one thing to just be clear of when you're fighting her. Also, the hitbox on her tail spinny flippy thing. Yeah, that thing. It's really weird. It's really hard to tell when you're gonna get hit by it and when you're not. Like sometimes you're like, hey, okay, that probably should have hit me there, but then nothing happens. And sometimes you're like, yeah, like I definitely wasn't anywhere near that. It's definitely really unclear where the boundary is with that thing. So, yeah, I think had something running in the background, because, like, she's getting a lot more like I'm not used to. Then I started flashing her out just to try and focus her head a bit more. Because, A, I want damage, B, I want damage. And C, when she's not hard attacking me much, makes it a lot easier to go on that head bit. But we're not going to get it right here, I can get it a little bit later on. So, again, we're just going to have to try and focus that head. Because, well, one, it gets rid of her Hellfire mode a lot faster. And once her head's broken, getting her out, doing the damage to get her out of her Hellfire mode is actually a lot easier. So, I'm just going to let us burn to death for a minute. Definitely Insect Glaive is probably one of the better weapons here because it keeps off the ground a lot, so you sort of spam damage on her wings, which you break her wings while she's in the air, makes it a lot easier to... We have to keep canceling our attacks, or Mega Potions here, because we're getting hit. It is good that you can cancel those potions because it really makes... What is it? Just dodging attacks while healing a lot easier. Well, I probably should be using my sushi fishtails a bit more. I have them. I can use them, but I try and avoid using them. The original reason I did it was because I just hated farming for them. But now I should probably use them a lot more than I do. There's a flash pod there to try and just get some damage on her head. The problem is her head moves around so much. The only exception when she's doing some of her fireball attacks. It's a little hard to try and get on her as easily as her head. But we do break it eventually, I know that much. Yeah. I don't know places to go there, so we just have to take the hit and heal up afterwards. think we're getting close to the point where I break her head. Because I know it's somewhere in this... I know it happens, like, somewhere in this area. And when it's in your Hellfire mode, those hatches of fire on the ground, you really gotta avoid them, because they don't just give you fire bite, they do a fair bit of damage. Other interesting thing was, she can actually knock herself into the wall. I'm not entirely sure of the interaction there, but I know it can happen, but you just saw it happen right there. It's an interesting interaction, so I'd like to know more, but I do not. At present. And the wiki doesn't have any information on it at present, so we'll have to see. Yeah, I was worried about her doing a fireball directly in my face there, so that's why I didn't just try and run up to her fence. Yeah, it has happened to me in the past. So we're actually gonna, because our blades in the blue there, and we didn't be in white order to actually damage her head. We have to take a pause and, you know, resharpen. And then we'll head back up into her little hole here, and then reattempt to break that head. So we get a nice little hit on it here. Yeah, I think this is where I end up breaking it. So she goes into... Yeah, that's her head broken. So sort of a weird camera thing there. Fortunately, she knocked us a bit away from her, so we can actually back off a bit and grab our buffs. I know I kill her after getting a mount off, so once you see that final mount go off, that's basically where she's about to die. So now we're just focusing on damage, so one of the good things about that tailspin is that you can be pretty close to her, especially if you stand like right under her and you just wail on her legs, because her legs are actually quite weak, so you can just safely attack them with really no repercussions. Yeah, the Rathian charge cycle is like one of the things I really hate about her, because she can turn around almost immediately and then just charge you again and knock you down for more damage. Or just combo it into something else, so it's really annoying. And yeah, that's what I was worried about a while ago. So yeah, she almost kills me here. Like, I pretty much just have to use one of my golden sushi scales to try and avoid dying. But I'm pretty sure this is where I get a mount. I get a mount off here, and yeah. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna mount her, and I'm just gonna go straight for her head because it's broken, and that means it's really vulnerable. So we can use that to just essentially just damage her to death. Or kill her. Damage her to death? That's a weird phrase. Why did I say that? Either way, she's about to go down here, so get the nice little slash flurry off on her head, and then we're just gonna wheel on her a bit. So, bam, 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 bam. Dead. Alright. Overall, I would never go out of my way to fight her. She's not the worst, but again, she's got some pretty annoying attacks and some pretty annoying mechanics I just don't feel like dealing with. I don't really want to deal with, so. In terms of, like more than dislike, I definitely dislike more than I like. He's not too bad, because, like, he's not... She's not as bad as Savage Devil Joe or something like that, but, not a huge fan, not a huge fan. There are a lot of monsters I would rather fight before I fight her easily. But yeah, that's about it for her fight. She's not like, in terms of difficulty, she's not like that bad. I've killed her 4 times now, and they've all been faintless. So she gets the right combo off, she can kill you. Otherwise, as long as you can run and heal up, not so bad. It does take a while though, because he's got her parts are really hard to break, and he's got a lot of health. But well, that'll about do it for this video. Next, probably Silver Rathalos. I guess I might do Scarred Yian Garuga before him. But yeah, that'll be about it for me. So I will see you in the next video. Peace out.